Jacob Wells, the Give, Send, Go co-founder, who has helped Karmelo Anthony raise over $500,000 for taking the life of a white kid, is now in full damage control mode. Largely thanks to a lot of you guys who have been sharing these videos, which, by the way, share this video. But thanks to you all who have been sharing these videos, the word is starting to spread about what's going on his little platform. You see, I guess he thought that Karmelo Anthony supporters were going to be the only ones paying attention to what was going on over there on his little fundraiser site. But I, along with others, have been exposing the hateful, racist stuff that he is allowing to go on. He himself has already acknowledged now that he knows that a lot of this money that is being raised is simply because people do not like white people. He has acknowledged himself that a lot of these donations are racially motivated. But has he taken down the Give, Send, Go? Of course not. So he's been getting put on blast, and now he's in damage control mode. Also, there's a little confusion because early on in this case, when Karmelo first started raising all of this money, Jacob claimed that Give, Send, Go wasn't going to make any money from this fundraiser, right? He was online arguing with people day and night, claiming that they weren't going to make any money from this fundraiser. But now in recent articles, now that he's getting a lot of pushback because you guys are spreading these videos and spreading the word about what's going on his platform, now in recent interviews, he's claiming that he's going to give the proceeds, the profit that he makes off of this Karmelo Anthony fundraiser, he's claiming he's going to give some of the profits to Austin Metcalf's family, or at the very least, he thought about doing so, right? Which is kind of weird because early on, when this this Give, Send, Go started blowing up, when everyone started initially donating to Karmelo, he claimed he wasn't going to see a penny. Now he's saying, "Oh, I'm thinking about giving the proceeds to Austin Metcalf's family." So I don't know. It kind of seems like he lied there. This entire time, but what do I know? Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm just confused, or maybe he's just confused. But yeah, it seems like he's not being totally honest about what's going on here. But like I said, he's in full damage control mode because I, along with others, we've now exposed that they're forming militias. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but they're literally in the comments on his fundraiser platform talking about forming militias to fight people. So obviously, I don't know if that's even legal. I don't know if that's okay. I don't know if the FBI is investigating. Hell, the FBI may be behind it. You never know what to expect these days, right? But ever since that started getting exposed, I don't know if you guys saw the video I put out about it. I believe it was yesterday. I'm not sure when you're watching this video. But ever since I put out that video, this guy's been like doing interviews with Fox News and stuff like that. And now he's pretending to play victim like Karmelo's family. He's acting like, "Oh man, I'm getting so much hate and I'm getting threats." And I don't believe it. But he also has now admitted that Karmelo's family does intend to spend this money on other things besides his legal defense. Which, when we exposed that a long time ago, Karmelo's family said that we were lying. And even this Jacob character said that we were lying. But now that Karmelo's family has access to the money, now everyone's openly acknowledging that, yeah, hey, the money's going to go to the houses and they're going to go to security, they're going to get therapy. It's insane the amount of gaslighting that is going on here. If you've been following this case, you know how crazy they went when it was exposed that they were going to start spending this money on all types of stuff. They accused us of being liars. Karmelo's mom got up on TV and started yelling at the cameras and crying. And the Give, Send, Go co-founder accused everyone of being liars that were spreading misinformation. Now, he's on live television admitting that, yeah, the money's going all of these other places. And he's trying to pretend like that was always the case, that everyone always knew that that was what was going to happen. It's wild, the amount of gaslighting that is going on. But you see, this gaslighting, it works on people who aren't really paying attention. It's not going to work on any of you all who have been watching my videos, that's for sure. But I want to just show you what this guy has to say. But first, if you appreciate the videos, please consider donating via Cash App or Super Thanks. People want to raise money off of murdering white kids, which is insane. Maybe, I don't know, you should donate money to someone who's actually doing something good and calling this stuff out, because a lot of people are afraid to. But you could also support the channel for free. You don't have to donate. You can support the channel by liking the video, dropping a comment. Your opinions are welcome here. Even if you're someone that disagrees with me, join the conversation down below. Consider subscribing and please share this video. That's how we apply pressure to people like this Jacob Wells, who are now squirming and trying to play damage control because they're getting caught out. But with all of that being said, let's go ahead and listen to what this guy has to say. Then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
Indicated that some of it will be used to provide them some security, some much needed security. I mean, if what they're getting, which I imagine it's 10x what I'm getting, what my family's getting, the threats that we've received from people on the right around us allowing this campaign, that security is much needed for their family. And so, yes, they've mentioned that security is a real thing that they will be affording themselves in this situation. And I completely agree that that's probably necessary with some of the threats they've been receiving. And then also a secure location for them to live, rather than just somebody docks their information. So that creates for a very bad situation for them. So it's completely understandable for them to go and find a decent housing where, but they were renting before and they're continuing to rent. So it's like, okay, $3,000 a month, for the next year and a half. It's a very small percentage of the funds. We have a team that deals with verification and payouts. And I know that they spoke directly to the Anthony family around those, and some clarity was given. So no, I can't say too much specifically. I do know that we sent an email out to everyone that donated. So I think there's, I don't know, last I saw 14,000 people that had, sent donations in. We sent an email out to everybody reiterating that, because there was some confusion at the beginning about whether this one was specifically a legal defense fund or whether it was open for other things. And from the very beginning, the campaign was stated as in essence, a more general fund for the needs of the family during this difficult time. And so we wanted to bring clarity, so we reached out. They did update their campaign to say, hey, here's some of the things that we'll be spending money on. And we sent an email out to everyone that had donated saying, make sure that you've read, and if you have any questions now about their updated statement as far as use of funds, then you're welcome to ask for a refund if you think that it violates what you wanted to give your money to. And nobody, meaning 0 out of 14,000 people responded. 0 people responded saying, I want my money back because I thought I was under the impression it was only a legal defense fund or anything like that. So we clarified any misconceptions with the people that have given, and none of them have changed their mind about giving.
Jacob. What we're not going to do is we're not going to sit here and play victim, Jacob. You have been online on X nonstop ever since Austin got killed. You have been on X nonstop talking trash to any and everyone about this case. I've already had run-ins with you myself a couple of weeks ago. So what we're not going to do is act like, oh, you're the pitiful victim. I'm getting all of these threats. No, you're not. If you were really getting threatened and you were really scared and you were really the victim, you wouldn't be online going out of your way, commenting on other people's posts, talking trash nonstop, Jacob. Like, I don't know if you realize, I mean, maybe you're tricking some of like the older boomers who are watching Fox News or something, but you're not tricking us, Jacob. Your X profile is public. Anyone watching this video right now, if you don't believe me, you ain't got to take my word for it. You could go to his Twitter account and nonstop, this dude is talking trash to people. Calling people out of their name, calling people names, calling people weak, calling people idiots, calling people racist, and everything that you can think of. So the fact that he's sitting here playing victim on the news it's just next level disgusting. And as far as Karmelo's parents go, you imagine they're getting 10 times the threats as you. The Frisco Police Department, I guess you haven't been following up with the details in this case because you're just counting the money as it rolls in. The Frisco Police Department had to come out themselves and say that Karmelo's family have not gotten any credible threats at all. And the one threat that they did get, that the police had to go to their house for, it turned out to be kids playing water guns in the neighborhood. Karmelo's dad even had to acknowledge to the police that he knew that the whole time, before he even called the cops, that they were water guns, fake guns, and they never even pointed it at the Karmelo family's house. So there are no credible threats against Karmelo's family. Are there people saying mean things online? Sure. That's what usually happens when you kill a kid at school. Usually people have mean things to say about that, Jacob. But you playing victim is... like, I know a lot of people will just go along with it, but because I've been paying attention and I've been watching you nonstop talking trash about this case every day, it's really, it ticks me off that you're sitting here pretending like you're a victim in this situation. But hey, everyone's the victim but Austin, right? Feel bad for Karmelo's family. Feel bad for Jacob Wells as they all count their money. Everyone's a victim but Austin's family. Which, speaking of Austin's family, I seem to remember early on in this case, I don't remember you giving any condolences, you giving any words of respect or anything like that to Austin's family. But you did comment on one of their posts and told them that they should have used Give, Send, Go. Jacob, you went under Austin's family's post, didn't give them condolences, didn't say sorry for losing your son, but you told them, hey, you should have used Give, Send, Go to raise the money. Because you're mad that Austin's family is raising money on a different platform. You wanted Austin's family to raise money on your platform, while Karmelo's family is also raising money on your platform, while you lie and pretend like, oh, I don't get any money out of this. So what's really going on here? It's really odd. It's really, really freaking odd. And another game that I'm not going to allow you to play here, Jacob, is you saying, there was some confusion at the beginning about where the money was going. No, there was no confusion. If there was confusion, there wouldn't have been a press conference where Karmelo's mom yells at the camera about people spreading misinformation about them using these donations to move into a new house. There was no confusion. You guys solidified that this money was for legal defense purposes only when you called us all liars and you guys flipped your wig when we called out the fact that Karmelo's family was planning to use this money to move into a new house and buy new cars and stuff. They're acting like that never happened now, folks. They're acting like we forgot about the press conference where the bow tie dad was standing in the corner quietly while he allowed his woman to talk for him because he's a chicken shit. They act like we forgot about all of that, guys. You don't remember when we exposed that Karmelo's family was going to use this money to move into a new house and buy cars and stuff? And then they said we were all liars and they had an entire press conference about it. Well, now they say, oh, well, the whole time we said we were going to buy the house. The whole time we said we was getting calls and stuff. What you talking about? The audacity of these people. And it's one thing if it's Karmelo's family and the activist that's representing them. That's to be expected. But Jacob, really? You're going to sit here and gaslight us like this? Jacob himself was on X flipping out, crying and yelling and calling everybody liars that were spreading misinformation when we exposed what Karmelo's family was going to do with this money. Jacob was online flipping out. Now it's, oh, I think there was confusion from the beginning. They gotta move it to a secure house. You see, not a regular house, but they gotta get it to a secure house. And then, they gotta get security. Security to protect them from the kids with water guns in the neighborhood. So, remember, guys, I keep telling you in these videos that I keep putting these videos out to document this stuff because they're going to memory hole this stuff. I keep telling you, like, hey, I may have to repeat myself a few times here because they're trying to memory hole details. They're trying to memory hole things that happened in this story, and they're pretending like it never happened. Now, I've seen stuff like this before, but usually it's further down the line. I know it seems like it's been forever, folks, but it's only been like a week or two of us even talking about this case. We've only been covering this case for a few weeks. And they think that we already forgot about stuff that happened a week and a half or 2 weeks ago. That's how crazy this is getting. We have the whole co-founder of the fundraiser site right here who flipped out and called everyone liars when we exposed they're using the money to move into a new house. Now on live television, he's admitting they're moving into a new house and saying, oh, it was just confusion from the beginning. We always kind of knew they were going to spend the money on whatever. If that were the case, if this was always the case that they were going to spend the money on whatever, they didn't have to come out and do a whole press conference to clear up misinformation and call everyone liars about how they were using their money. But, like I said, folks, they're already trying to rewrite the script here. They're already trying to rewrite history. By the time we get to trial, they're going to be telling an entirely different story than how this whole entire situation played out. But luckily, I'll be here documenting the truth about what's going on for as long as I can. So your support is always appreciated. Please share these videos, like the video, comment. If you would like to donate, Cash App, or Super Thanks. But with that being said, I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.